Yes, Antigua and Barbuda. We're on another episode of Who's on the Go Mike podcast. Once again, it's me and Lionel Nedwin, my co-host. And there are a lot of disturbing issues we're having here in Antigua and Barbuda. We're hearing really a big concern, is a generational concern that people are being barred access to the beaches in Antigua and Barbuda. We're going to take that up as a main issue today on Who's on the Go Mike podcast. It's the 15th of July, 2023. Mm-hmm. And this is the last podcast of the season, the summer season. The next time we come live and direct you will be sometime in late August, early September. And that will be really concerning the fall season of our podcast.
That's right.
We turn into Lilo because of the carnival that is taking place in Antigua and Barbuda for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then the hangover, and then even the fetes that are going to happen after the carnival fetes. So, can't really speak to the head of the Antiguans right now because the body is just gyrating right now,
yes,
and getting drunk and
you say that
thinking
again.
about sort of
The good something.
good something. So we said let's let them do their thing, and we'll come live after that session.
That's right.
So yeah, Neddy, you talk to them for a few seconds as I add people onto the link,
Okay, my good
and then
buddy.
we go into this whole generational
but we
issue
need to-
of
we
beach
need to
access.
We need to have that
You
fixed.
understand?
Yeah,
So,
we need to be fixed.
Give me a few seconds.
Yes,
Neddy,
my
you
good brother.
talk to them.
That's my good brother. Good afternoon to our listeners. Welcome, and we are glad to have you with us here again today. As my co-host has told you, that our main issue today will be an issue where the people of Antigua are being taken advantage of. And we think this thing needs to stop and stop right here in its tracks. It's getting totally out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. To see that our foreparents has fought and broke barriers and accomplished things for us, that paved the way for us, and then next thing you know, we have people within our sector that comes and just giving it all away and don't care about. It's not nice at all. You know, this beach thing has been going on for quite a while. It's been spoken of. We demonstrated and we do all kind of things. As a matter of fact, True Labor went down to a beach down there one time.
What's that? Payne's Point.
Yes,
Point.
Payne's
We went
Point.
down to,
That's
yeah,
right.
Payne's
We heard that this thing was going on where they're barring people from getting to the. So we went down, you know.
Point. That was about.
2018.
That was after.
Was it?
That was before the 2018 election.
Yes.
So let's say 2017,
somewhere
thereabouts,
around
yeah.
there. Yeah. And then, you know, so this is the interest that we have been showing over the years that you know, we want what belongs to us remain in our hands, and it's ours. It's been fought for. It's been bought. And then you're telling me that what has been bought with our money, we are not able to go and enjoy. And over the years, that's what we've been doing. We're enjoying, and we've been getting medical attention from it because it's good medicinally as well. And even when the COVID came in, they told you that the beach was good to go because all that, you know, is part of the medicine that the body needs, you know, the natural medicine. And you're telling me now that you have people come from wherever they come from, and with a little bit of cash, and however they get the rest from our bank, because all that goes on, and all that, you know, to establish themselves to tell you that you can't enjoy what your foreparents has fought for. It's not making any sense, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what we are going to speak on in depth today, because we need to do something about it. We can't just sit back and remember silence is consent. We are here week after week. We expect you to call in and be part of, you know, let us know that you're concerned. You know, you're showing some sort of concern on the issues that we're speaking of, because if you don't, it appears if that you're consenting to it, because silence is consent. So we expect you to call, and don't forget, you know, to subscribe also to our program, because, you know, we want to keep it going. We want to keep you informed. We want to make sure that you get the true scoop of what's going on, you know, so you can make decisions of how we are going to rectify the situation. This is a serious issue, ladies and gentlemen. You can't go on a beach. We boast that we have 375 beaches, 365 or however, somewhere around that number. And we boast in that. This is what we boast.
I think it's probably even more.
Yes, you know, because the little digging ones we don't even
Little
put on
bays that you don't really get to by road.
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
we have other islands too with
You
beaches.
better believe that.
Even the
So
smaller
it's even
islands
more.
have beaches. It's even
Yes,
more.
it's even more. And we boast on that. So who are the beaches for? We boast on that we have that. It's not for us. This is some crazy stuff. So these other people come down and say, no. You do have on your island, you do have that amount of beaches, but it's not for you. You can't go and you can't even enjoy those beaches. This is not nice, ladies and gentlemen. So we're asking you to call in, you know, be a part of the whole thing. Show that you're concerned. You need to show some sort of concern about the whole issue. And not only this issue, because there are many other issues that you know, you need to show interest in, ladies and gentlemen, because it's only going to affect you somewhere down the line. I'm telling you, when the rain falls, it doesn't fall on one man's house, you see? It falls on everybody's house up in that area. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do, you know, have some confidence in yourself that you want better for yourself, you want a better living, somewhere better tomorrow down the road. Because what we're having now, whoa, it's really out of whack. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep on keeping on. We're glad to have you here with us today. And you just sit back. We'll be giving it all to you, my friends.
Yeah, Nelly, that's a nice segue into
What
we are dealing with in Antigua and Barbuda today. Now, several concerns of mine, because what I heard on the, I think George when I had a clip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can get it to the people. He had a clip where he had a video on the guy that ran, the candidate who ran against Robert Yearwood in St. Philip's North. That's Willie Keys and Long Bay and that sort of area.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole issue really was that he was saying that there's another beach up that side, which not a lot of people probably know what the beach is, so and so on up there is, but not a frequented beach.
Mm-hmm.
But he was basically saying that
There's another one. Yeah.
they are putting up fences or have put up fences to bar the public access to the beach.
Whoa.
And from that little clip I saw this morning, I got infuriated because at the end of the day, so many people have struggled, fought. My grandfather is probably the main figure you see, fought for Antigua and Barbuda. Purchased, unlike any other island in the Caribbean, we purchased our lands.
The beaches too.
And the beaches.
That's
How can
right.
the lands be separated from the
beachfront
beaches?
is ours.
But I'm pissed off because I saw this new guy, Brown, talking about the beach and public access, and he
The
went into
barring of it.
even Emerald Cove and so on. They're barred from Emerald Cove up in that area.
Wow.
I've never been banned from a beach in Antigua and Barbuda, and I refuse to be banned from any beach in
Yeah,
Antigua
this
because
is
I am the
lack of
man's
time.
namesake. He gave me
Yeah.
his name. I'm not going to be banned from any beach. I'm not going to give up my rights or my birthright to anybody. I will stay there and suffer the consequences
Of course.
before I say,
Of
okay,
course.
okay, sir, I'm sorry about that. Sorry to
What?
disturb you. Bye. It's not going to happen with this Vere bird.
Can't happen.
Maybe
brother.
the future ones.
Yeah, it can't happen.
Or maybe the fake ones, or they say they have the AI, artificial intelligence
That's
ones,
what they say.
but not this Vere bird the third, as you people know me.
seriously, No, you
It's
cannot
not
go
gonna
like
happen
that.
with me. So, but I've never been banned from a beach that I want to go to in Antigua, and I've even gone to see where they say they ban people, and the
Yes.
people don't ban me.
Yes, we went.
So
we-
I've never had that experience. But what I'm saying, I'm the third generation. There's Veerbird Senior, Veerbird Junior, Veerbird the third. You mean to tell me we're still fighting for access to our beaches 3 generations later? So
Nothing
I
can
am
go
going to have
through
to
that.
fight for the access for my son
Nothing
to go
can
to the beach?
Nothing can go like that.
Nothing's supposed to happen like that.
No, that's crazy. Barriers have been
That
broken.
don't make any sense
Those barriers
whatsoever.
have been gone. and
It don't
been
make no
broken.
sense
What-
whatsoever. You can't that water. So
This is
I am
joke.
fighting for the 4th generation to get access where we purchased the lands and
Yeah.
we already fought and won that battle.
Yeah.
We are still fighting.
Yeah.
And we have 2 political organizations
This is
who
what-
say that they're the fittest and the best to represent and to look out for our interests in the ABLP and the UPP.
Insane.
And the UPP has had administration for 10 years, 2004 to 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And in opposition, they were crying down and bawling down and talking about how our land sell off and access to beach and access to that and Stanford want your land and all of this stuff. 10 years, or decades they were in power. Did they safeguard the lands or the access to the beaches for our people?
No,
That
they
was
didn't.
should have been a priority. You know what the
No, it
priority of
should
the
be.
UPP was? That they will go and build a car park. That was the first project of the UPP when they came into office. They built a car park. In 2005, I think they started building it. And it is now 2023, the 15th of July. The car park can't finish. But I am talking about a car park. Who the hell wants their name to be remembered with that? Does Baldwin, does Jackie, does Harold Lovell want to be remembered? Do you want us to put your name on that car park if it ever gets finished? Because that's not a legacy project. That's something that anybody will remember you for, that you build a car park. Those things go up and come down year in, year out in the world. But what you would have been remembered for is if on gaining office, gaining power, to run the affairs of the people of Antigua, you made certain that the lands of Antigua and Barbuda, and more so the beaches, that the public had access, because we won the struggle and the conquest.
Yes, that's what it is.
How can we still
won.
be arguing over
I
we
don't know,
can't
because
get
we
access to a
have-
beach in Antigua?
Be-
How can you win a war but not get the spoils?
Well,
That
we-
is what I don't understand to this day and age
Because-
within my country.
Because we have a so-called soldier who is now running the country that don't even understand what the struggle is all about.
Or
It
doesn't
has
care.
to be that.
But doesn't care. I couldn't care less.
Why? You don't care about your own stuff? Me say he just don't understand, but because
Boy.
I don't know what's going on with that man.
Yeah.
You know, this is our stuff. Look, we broke the barrier, and we accomplished, and this is ours. And then we went back and we purchased it again. We said, look, this is the insurance of this whole thing. So hold this money that, come and interfere with us later on because this is ours.
Yeah.
So we purchased the land there. We just purchased this whole syndicate thing. And now you're coming to tell me we have one of our own that behave like we just thump out to fall in it and that's, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. The whole thing is so senseless.
It makes absolutely...
You're just giving away what people fought for.
Without any regards
No.
to the suffering, what people went through, what
No,
people
you're
had
not
to
taking
do to
up-
get these lands. It's generations now that we've been fighting for these lands, and we're not certain if we can go on our beaches. And what I am saying to the two main political organizations in Antigua and Barbuda, listen to me well. You all had your chances. The UPP were in opposition for how many years? And when y'all going to wax and wane what y'all going to do? And up to now, I saw this young man, I think his name is Brown, don't know his first name, don't really know him. But he's up there complaining about access to the beaches. Mm-hmm. And the surprising thing is that you see about 3 people that is supporting the UPP around him. But nobody else. And you know why? They shouldn't be with him.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be with UPP. They shouldn't be with ALP. Because we know the issue is this is a generational issue that you all, when you all form government, you all never sort out once and for all.
Did nothing
You have
to
no
secure-
interest in sorting it out
to
once and
secure
for all.
that it remains the way it's supposed to be.
This should
They didn't.
never be an issue. To say anybody that come to Antigua
This is a
know
joke,
that
man.
we have access to the beach, whether you're a billionaire,
This is a
millionaire,
joke.
whether you,
Whatever you are. This is
whatever land
our
you
stuff.
purchase on
No,
beach
this
or beside beach or sea view or beachfront,
beach is not
we
for
have
sale.
to have access to these beaches.
That's right, beach
And
not
now
for
what we
sale.
have here now is a generation issue where everybody gets into office eventually, one political organization,
Mhm.
and they smile up and they grin up with these same
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all you see,
Eat up with them.
nobody getting any access to any damn thing.
No.
That is the reality. And I would
Yeah.
say, and I implore the Antigua and Barbuda people to take the stand that if they tell you to come out and picket for access, or to march, or to do whatever in protest to get access to it, don't go. Because the UPP in its form, not the opposition, the PLM, the UPP had 10 years in office to look about one of the biggest concerns of Antiguans and Barbudans, and they didn't do jack shit.
Enjoy it.
They went and built a car park. That is what you all voted for. People that build car parks on playing fields that ought to be for the children of Antigua and Barbuda to go and play at. And people might say, oh, don't knock the UPP so hard, they deserve a good racing. Because at the end of the day, I mean, an ordinary letter-sized piece of loose leaf paper, all I want to see is just legislation that says 3 things.
Uh-huh.
All beaches in Antigua are to have public access. Anyone who does not or bars public access will have, on first offense, found guilty, but they criminalize it, $100,000 fine. Second offense, 6 months in prison. And any further offense is an additional 6 months. So you go from 6 months, then
To
you
a
go
year.
another third offense, you go a year,
And a
then you
half.
go 18 months
That's
until
right.
you understand.
Mhm.
People have fought this battle.
Yeah, this is our
This is
stuff.
not for any rich person to come to Antigua and say,
No,
you
no,
own this
that's
land.
not-
This is
beaches are
holy
not for
land.
that. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the people who ought to recognize that, the Antiguans and Barbudans, they couldn't care. They're out now half naked, winking up at some
they're
fete
they're partying.
and getting drunk,
Please.
having sex in their
They
cars,
are partying. They're
having a good old time
fun season.
while they're losing their country.
Fun season, my brother.
It is a simple legislation. You don't need more than 5 paragraphs, if that much, including the preamble, just to let people know that access to the beaches in Antigua, denying the access to people of Antigua and Barbuda, the public access to a beach in Antigua
It's
is
a
a
criminal
criminal offense.
That's right.
And it is punishable on the first offense that you found guilty by $100,000 in a fine. After that is jail time. You don't come and say, "Oh, Papa said we supposed to have access." Papa done dead and gone. Papa dead in what? 1999. 1999. Papa dead and gone.
That's right.
What we talking about, Papa now?
Yeah, man. The barrier
What
has
we
been
talking about?
broken
The
a
man
long
has done
time.
fought his battle. He done fight this battle
Yeah,
generations
barrier has been
ago.
broken.
Before me born, this battle was won, fought and won. And I'm still here. And I have children who would like to have access. Because God forbid somebody bar them to the beaches. I have a personal problem with this.
Yeah, it's sick,
But I would say
sickening.
this is all the product of the politics that we have in Antigua and Barbuda.
Yep.
And the people of Antigua and Barbuda have sat back
Yeah,
and acquiesced and allowed this to go on longer than it ought to. Neddy, what you got to say about that?
Where? It's sickening and it's real. You understand? And for years we've been talking about, as I said, we went down on that beach many years ago, about 2017, to see what was going on after we heard of they're barring people from getting to the beaches and stuff like that. So this whole issue has been going on for a long period of time. And as I said, as you said, mentioned that UPP got into power and they never reformed anything. So when ALP came back into power, now they meet everything right in stride, and they went
to pick up where they left
right
off.
in stride where they left off there. And this is what's happening, and it's getting worse because, you know, it was access to beaches, now it's selling. And they're just selling off everything that Antigua people owns. It's just crazy stuff. So at the end of the day, I'm just wondering what's going to happen when these people, that they're selling these things to set up and all that, and we're going to look like, what are we going to look like in our own country?
Boy.
You understand? Because they are the ones with the wealth, they are the ones with the land. So, and land is the basis of independence in our way. So
Yeah.
if we don't have land, we are not independent at all. We are dependent on the people who owns the land.
Yeah.
So I don't think the top dog really understand what he's into. I don't even what his intentions are. Maybe he intend to just, after this whole thing, he just take off and go somewhere else. I don't know. But for how he's operating, you know, it doesn't look good for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And the people of Antigua and Barbuda need to do something about it. Well, let me leave Barbuda out of it, because Barbuda people seem to know how to fight and you know, and protect what they own. But Antigua people, it's like they don't care. And you have to care, because sooner or later you become slaves again in your own country. Things that, barriers that were broken, you know, it seemed as if it was pointless. Because
we wasted our time.
Oh yeah, big time. You know, because what? You end up in the same position. Please, ladies and gentlemen, and as I said, silence is consent. At least calling and say, you know, yes, I don't agree, because whatever you agree, however, but say something, behave like if you even notice. You know, like you don't notice what's going on. What do you think going to happen? It's worse, it's going to get worse if you don't. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to just have some concerns about the issues that's happening around you and what's affecting you and what will hurt you somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
And then, you know, decide that you're going to be a part of getting it rectified. And then, you know, that is something that each and every Antiguan who lives here and you know, supposed to play a part in having where they live suitable for them to live. But I just don't understand. We come here week after week and we try to get the people to understand that it takes them. You know, if it's not you, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It takes you, the people, in order to demand. You have to demand. Many times I come here and say, on election day, you give these people a job. And because you say that they win and not that we hired them or they got the job, they don't even have a job description.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't have to do nothing than just drive up to a building, look around, bop, 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 and they move. And it's like because there's no job description, it's win the win anyway. You know, so, look, we need to just get this thing sorted out here. It needs to be sorted out if Antigua is going to, you know, revive itself. You know, it's a revival mission at this point in time, you know. Yeah, we have to rectify this whole situation. You know, it's not that you mentioned to me earlier. It's not a rescue mission anymore because
No,
the
no,
whole
no,
stuff
no,
gone
no.
on kind of how.
Yeah, and we had a little difficult technical difficulties. Yeah, you're just coming in right now at the conversation, and what we're really talking about today on the Who's on the Go My podcast. This is for Facebook. We're on YouTube and we're on our True Labor page successfully, but for some reason it was glitching on my user profile where we usually get a lot of our viewers. We're talking about beach access in Antigua and Barbuda because we saw George wanna send me on a clip on WhatsApp with the candidate for the UPP up at Willie Keys area protesting beach access, that they weren't getting any access to beaches. But I am taking the position that I ain't not going to no goddamn picket, I'm not going to goddamn march, I'm not doing nothing. Because the UPP had 10 years in office where they could have instituted legislation saying three things. All people who want to go beach have public access. Every hotel owner, every land owner in front of a beach must provide access to the public. Failing to do so, it's a criminal act. You get $100,000 fine on the first breach. Second breach is 6 months in prison. Third breach is a year, and it goes up 6 months every breach thereafter until you understand. Because this battle was fought already. This is not something that is new.
No.
I am the third generation of Vere, and my grandfather before I was born fought this battle and won this battle. How come now that the politicians know they cannot legislate that and make certain that Antigua and Barbuda? So I'm the third generation. My Vere, the fourth. I have to fight now for him to get access to that beach which Mr. Brown is talking about.
Yeah.
That make any sense to you?
Yeah.
After my grandfather fought and won that battle before I was born, they purchased the land. And I'd like to hear a politician that the public feels confident in voting for and going out and giving them all their support and put on their paraphernalia, their hat, then shot, then bag, then t-shirt, then shoes. Call in on our radio station, tell you how you feel that you and your children may not have access to beaches in Antigua and Barbuda.
In the near future.
You know, but it's an
Can you
issue
imagine?
where the parties, the ALP and the UPP have failed Antiguans and Barbudans. Because the first thing UPP went in, before they do that, they went in and built a car park or tried to build a car park. That does not sit well with people. That is not something you want to be remembered for, a car park. Say that whatever politician, Barwin Spencer, Harold Lovell, when he was in office, he was the one that proposed and made certain legislation passed in the lower house and the upper house, and it had its 3 readings and so on and so forth, that Antiguans and Barbudas have access to all the beaches in Antigua and Barbuda where they want to go to. None better than the other. No rich person can buy you or shoo you off your beach. Give us the confidence that we don't have to keep fighting for what is ours. But you all do not do so, because I go in and I smile up and again with the rich people. I must think I feel important. That's the same way the slave master had us. Because some of them feel they can go up and knock on the house and go in there and probably get the old shot, the old pants.
They feel privileged.
The mistress of the house, she can get you old panty and so on, and get you old lipstick and rouge. And then you feel like you're on a better level.
Discarded.
But how come I don't hear? I just want to hear from Mr. Brown, that is the candidate. Tell me when the UPP get into office that you're going to criminalize anybody buying the public access to the beaches. That's all I want to hear.
Yeah.
That's all I want to hear. Plain and simple. You don't need much more than that.
It's necessary because something needs to be done and something drastically needs to be done. You just don't play around with the lives of people. We've been doing this generations after generations.
A fourth generation. So
and at this point in time, you're telling me.
And Mike and Jacob, my children.
You're going to have problem now.
That I was born 71. My grandfather fought that battle before me born.
Way back, man.
So why now we have to make sure that they get access to the beaches where their great-grandfather won the battle back in the 50s or the 60s when they purchased that. What is that, Nedwell?
We have to maintain that the bar is just pure ignorance. We have to maintain that the barrier has been broken. And that maintaining it's like, we are now coming into it new. I don't know what these people think. I don't then I understand what happened over the years where they don't. This is what I'm saying.
They're just not damn well kid and that's worthless.
Yeah.
And the people just done so worthless.
So we
it's
have
just
people that
Unbelievable.
run in our
Hey,
favor,
Carol, how you
don't
doing,
they?
man? How you doing? Down there in Golden Grove Extension. Right here, my dear. I'm coming in live and direct to you. I'd just like to say the people in St. John's Rural South, me and Neddy will be coming back around again.
Oh yes,
We're
come
gonna take a
looking for you.
little. We're gonna take a little breather for the carnival season.
Oh
but
yeah.
this is something where I don't care if
Yes.
nobody else
It's hurting,
is around
yeah.
me.
No.
I'm not looking left or right to see what the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
People say, oh, Vere, what happened to True Labor? What happened to your party? What the hell happened? I'm not looking whoever fall off or get tired or get weary. That's your business. That's not mine. We move forward.
Yes.
But we're going to reach out to our
Okay.
people and let them know there is hope. And I did mention Neddy. Not you have some few words to say to Neddy. I got to make you speak some more. Somebody just tell me, yeah, you want to make Neddy say more, you have a little bit more experience than you've been in Antigua and from the days when this stuff was going on and the stuff was hot.
No,
Access
yeah.
the beach. I born
What do you mean?
75. That was after.
What do you
I
mean?
enjoyed the benefits.
Yeah.
I can't say I even struggled. And why would I want to struggle where my grandfather did the struggling?
Broke the
That
barrier.
is my legacy.
The
That is our
barrier
legacy.
has been broken. This is what I'm saying.
Mm.
When the barrier has been broken, that's what it is. It is what it is. How you come now and you just doing things contrary to what was going on all the time and think that it's okay, it's not right. You know, and this is what's happening with our Prime Minister. He needs to listen. Because if you don't listen, you can't learn. And to me, the dunceness is getting more and more. It's been highlighted. You know, you can't do these things. As you said, Vere, your grandfather fought the battle there. You know, and that it is what it is. How can you come now and decide, look, I do what I like with the people's thing? It doesn't work like that.
No.
It's the people.
It don't work so, Neddy.
can't
But
work
in
like that.
Antigua and Barbuda today, it seems like it's just another a way of stepping back. We're stepping backwards. We're stepping backwards in time. We're stepping back with what our rights are, what we hard-earned rights and privileges that we worked hard for from since the
Yeah.
days of slavery.
That's right.
This cannot be normal.
Yeah.
Neddy, you realize that I think it was the UPP, if I'm not mistaken, or the Justice Simon passed the legislation concerned. I can't remember it's the act in regards to the sea, and you talk about the high water mark and the low water
That's
mark.
right.
Justice Simon in born in Antigua, what he come here to talk about low water mark and high water
But
mark.
brother,
Carry that
this
shit
is
to
the thing.
Dominica.
This
That's
kinda
where you're
thing.
born. Talk about the high water and the low water mark of the river.
Look.
Ah, in a river in Antigua, one river in the and then they dry up. And one little waterfall. Carry that down to the river. High water. I don't understand.
No, I don't.
Maybe the water, the rivers in Dominica, their water marks are consistent. They have a consistent stream of water going.
There's a constant flow
so the high water and the low water will remain the same. How you go pass legislation in Antigua where tide come in and tide go recede, right? You have hurricane season and you have times when it is calm.
Right.
So when you're talking about low water mark and high water mark, access to the beach up to the high water mark, I don't understand. So me have to wait till tide high to get like extra sand
like
on the beach. And when tide go out, now I have to go further into the water.
That's what it is. Yeah, the high water mark.
How did these people
confused
come up with this bullshit?
Yeah,
I didn't know this guy Brown from the same organization. This is about 15 years ago. This nonsense part. He coming out talking about he no access his people up there, no access to no beach.
When you had all the opportunity,
in the world to sort this, so you come up with high water mark and low water mark and where we can go on based on the tidal currents and the wave and the time of the year in Antigua and Barbuda. Carry that to Dominica. And where were the parliamentarians when he talked about he low water mark and he high water mark in that legislation?
They weren't listening. They weren't listening. They were distracted somewhere along there.
Listen, it has to be legislation to me to criminalize.
That's right.
Denying somebody access to the beach, and any lands being so concerning beaches in Antigua and Barbuda. There has to be a covenant written into the contract where you will put down access, a footpath or walkway to get to the beach, that has to be in the
driveway,
covenant.
a driveway.
Yeah, that has to be
No,
down
no.
there. You
Make a
have to
part
sign a
like
covenant that
you're giving me
you
now.
sign a covenant that yes, I admit or I acknowledge, I consent that beachfront, there must be beachfront access.
That's right.
In the covenant that they sign.
That's
That
right.
should be the law. That's what
Yeah.
I want to hear progressive. I want to
No,
hear
but
stuff like that.
that's
I
what
don't
pe-
want to talk about progressive and you know do nothing.
That's
You
what-
regress.
That's when people recommend that actually doing something for their constituency and doing something for their people.
Mhm.
But they're not doing that, Vere.
Not a damn thing.
They're not doing that. You know, these people, they're supposed to be. But they're not. I don't know. You have these people saying that they represent you. Represent you doing what? What is the representation there? They don't care about you. They're not doing nothing for you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you're representing me, you're doing something for in my interest. And this is what's not happening here. They're not, seem as if they're not interested. They're not. They're
The
just,
men them about the nice you
They
that
just
all the
get there.
hoteliers, all the rich people
Cause
that
they
have
are-
land, have beachfront property.
they already
And I'm going to
com-
get some under the table.
they're accomplished. They're
Because
already
you can't go
accomplished.
tell me, listen, I am not asking you. I picketed with the
Mm-hmm.
Antigua Labour Party up at Long Bay when they said they were going to put down a Ferris wheel and amusement park. You leave America where you have Coney Island, all these big great. We got Six Flags and all
Oh,
these
yeah,
other
me,
things,
yeah.
all these other real amusement parks.
That's right,
And you're going to
the
leave that to
Disneys
come
and
to
the so
Antigua
forth.
to go Antigua to go on a bumper car. But anyway, well, long story short, that was about 2012, 2013. We picketed with them. We mad Robin and then we up there making all kind of nice our flag. What happened to that? Robin, have you say you on your way out of politics? You and Malvin, y'all were there. You all told Wax and Wayne what Papa Bird said. What happened now?
They forgot.
Y'all in office since 2014.
They forgot.
Y'all, what, you senile? You don't remember?
No, that's what it is.
Huh? You're
Right.
dribbling? We have to get you some sort of
Medication.
remember,
man.
we can't get
Maybe.
post-its to remember your sentences. But remember this sentence. You told us that those 7 or 8 beaches were reserved for Antiguans and Barbudans. And even more so, all beaches also have access to them.
Every last one.
And it isn't happening in Antigua. That is your legacy. That you spoke out about it, you knew about it, but you're all a damn fraud. Robin Yearwin and Marwin Joseph. Because the other bunch of idiots in the Antigua Labour Party, they never showed up. The other candidates or representatives
Don't want
now.
their name to be
Because
called.
they at least they weren't hypocrites.
That's right.
Right? But they're damn frauds.
They don't want-
But Robin and
Absolute. Yeah.
and Marwin,
That's right. They
y'all
had the
are
nerve
a
to
bunch
show
of
up.
damn frauds.
Yeah, they had the nerve to show up, but no,
You're
look.
hypocrite, you're
the
liars.
Same organization, and watching this thing go on, contrary to what they were saying up there.
They were saying
Eh?
so to us.
What
And they were
ignorance is
waxing
that?
away about the history and how Papa Bird
You
planned it.
understand?
And all these beaches were supposed to be part of the
Oh,
national
my
park
goodness.
system for us to
Yeah.
go and Antigua is supposed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we won't interfere with the tourists. They have one side and we have our side.
Help
But
us
no
out,
side
yeah.
supposed to be equal or less than the other side. Malvin a chatter.
What the
Mouth.
thing?
Hey, chat so much, I'm sure you might have a think
Yeah,
after each
me
chat.
tell-
What happened, Malvin? You want me to get the post-it so you can remember when you go parliament?
He forgot.
You want me
He
to get to the point? What they call it? The notes, the point.
The footnotes.
But yeah, the footnotes for you to go
what
and
the-
mention in parliament.
what
Because
the
what you're
thing?
doing here now, you're a fraud,
Big fraud.
and that is your legacy.
Big
And
fraud.
you need to
Say
realize
one
that.
thing and do the next. It's
The next
big
thing, no,
fraud.
Lester Bird.
Eh?
10
Oh,
years of prime minister, your father fought for these rights. Nothing was done.
He's a joke, man.
Even my father,
He's a
I'll
joke.
have to say he was in that administration.
Yeah, he was
How
sidelined.
did you preserve? Yeah, he was sidelined,
He was
you know.
sidelined.
But then again, if you're sidelined,
Mhm.
you know what I do when I'm sidelined?
Mhm.
You pick up and you let it right there.
Mhm.
Just like I walked out to Antigua Labour Party
Yep,
because I
yep.
realized what they were. He could have done the same thing.
Could have walked away.
Maybe it's because of how I see how he allowed himself to be used
Mhm.
and rural South to be used as a safe seat just for them to get into office.
That's right,
Well,
that's
I
right.
said, no, I don't want none of that. Yes,
Mhm.
leave it alone.
Mhm.
But you cannot continue that this stuff is now down to the 3rd generation and a 4th generation. My son is coming up
It's
now,
still before
and he's
the
going to be
forward.
fighting for what his
No.
great-grandfather has won. That
Don't
it can't
make
make no
sense.
sense
That
to me.
don't make no
And if
sense.
anybody, if you are brave enough, I ain't brave enough, or maybe I can send me a WhatsApp text or something. I is scared, but this is not something for us to be talking about in a monologue or dialogue between
No,
me
these
and
times.
Nedwell every
No.
week. This is
No.
something where y'all need to get involved.
That's right.
Because it
Do
is
something for
affecting not
yourself.
me and Nedwell alone.
Can't go to the beach
All
sooner or
Antiguans
later.
and Barbudans, and y'all fought in that struggle and the conquest. How can you win something and have nothing for show for it? How can some foreigner own land on a beach and tell you you are not getting access to it? And this guy Brown was talking about it, but I cannot go and join a picket or a march or any protest with the UPP or the ALP because they've had their time in office. And this battle was fought 50, 60, 70 years ago. And none of them legislate our rights and our privileges.
Not one of them.
They have no interest in that. They just go up to these hotels and they just yam down their food,
Have a
yam down their
feast.
food, and
Feast.
smile up and grin up in their face. And they're like the good little boy, little Uncle Toms that they are.
Just shake
That is the
hands.
reality we're facing here in Antigua and Barbuda.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, Neddy.
Buddy boy, I don't know, but again, it's the people. And we need the people to participate in our program, call in, say something. Just be a part of it. Interact with us, ladies and gentlemen. Show us that you're interested in your well-being. You're interested in having a better tomorrow. Because for how I see this, tomorrow is going to be a dismal one with all kind of people we don't know come owning great sectors of our land and all this stuff. This is some crazy stuff that's going to go on over the years, and we need to do something to rectify what's happening right now in our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, just don't play timid and all that. Be part of the whole rectification process. It needs to be rectified. We can't live like this. Look what's happening around. It's from one thing to the next, When these people do you that, and they see that you don't care, they do you other things. Look at what's going on. Look at your drainage. Look at everything that's happening around you. And you tell me, if these are people that have your interests, at heart, really, something for you, they're not doing nothing for you, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? They're not representing you one bit. They're just playing games.
Let me see if I can get the clip here, Neddy.
It's crazy stuff here. They need to just rectify this whole place. It needs rectification, and it needs the people to demand. You have to stand up and demand something. If you don't demand that they do something for you, they're not going to do it. You have to demand it. And again, I said to you earlier and previously, you are the ones that give these people the job. Understand that. What is so difficult for you to understand that when you went down there and you marked that X is saying, hire this group. That's what the X is saying, hire this particular group, because I think this group
can do the job.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They don't even use the word job here. What is this?
Hey, yeah, it was from it wasn't George when they sent me the kids. Somebody else. Locals denied traditional access to Laurie's Bay, Laury, Laurie's Bay, or something like that.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that beach?
Mm.
Yeah, never heard of it myself, but let me see if I can get y'all just a little taste of what the good gentleman, the brother Brown, was saying. They represent the caretaker for that area. Locals deny traditional access to Laurie, L-A-U-R-Y, Laurie's Bay. Okay?
Laurie's Bay.
Let me see if we can get some.
Today is Saturday, the 15th day of June 2023. I am George Wenner and I am here in the parish of St. Philip's, in St. Philip's North constituency, with the man of the hour, the UPP standard bearer for St. Philip's North constituency, Brother Alex Brown. Brother Alex, we're here just northeast of Willikies, and there's a concern on your mind. Please, what's happening here?
Well, what has happened, good morning my brother, what has happened is that there is a property that is now totally fenced off, and we don't have a problem with people buying land in these very large tracts. But what has happened is that the access to the beach, as we know it, to Laurie's Bay, we call it Laurie.
Laurie's
Is now
Yeah, that's Gaelic, bro.
And so we, the villagers of
Hope
this
you all
area,
hearing it out there, right?
we are very, very concerned, because this is a beach just west of Long Bay.
Yeah, there's
that
too
we
much
used to
people
go
buying
to
them.
go
Yeah, yeah.
fishing,
Blame anybody in
That's
the
right,
town.
very much.
You know, and
Awesome,
this area
but
where
then
you usually
move on your back
your
side.
willies and your commons and your lobster, and just a little picnicking, and it's now
Look at the
totally
fence.
gone because
This is the man come out the security guard, guy come out and a nice fence man. They had nice guard hut boy. Wait, are Italian tiles for the guard hut? Backside. Be careful for that from my house.
Look, help us.
Look, the security guard come out.
Yeah.
I'm block them backside. They are forefathers one. And now the guard.
Look at that. Can you imagine?
490 acres is now Emerald Cove. Alright? It's opposite. So both the north and south side of the road are totally gone. Now this is lots and lots of acres. The area I know was bought by a baron. I know that you may know the history.
Baron Lorne van Thyssen.
Okay, you may know the history where I think it was Mr.
Well,
Michael would have bought.
Let's go back to our program, right? We can't really take them there on and all of that. And I'm
But
glad
you got
that
the gist.
they brought it to our attention that another beach is, we have lost access to it. But what I'll tell Mr. Alec Brown, thank you for the update. No, you need to go down. What they call it again? General Council of the United Progressive
That's
Party,
right,
and they
for the
meet and they
UPP.
sit down there.
That's right.
Go
And let
ask
them know.
all of them, Jackie and Lovell and Brother B and John McGinley and Brother Baldwin Spencer and all of the other people that formed the government in Antigua and Barbuda
Over those
in
years.
2004.
Over those years.
These issues did not start
Why
in
are we
2004,
still in this
2005. Ask them what did they do to protect Antiguans and Barbudas to get access to their beaches. Ask them. And then anytime you want, we'll have you on our program, or you can call in and let us know what the responses are. But I find that these people, they get into office and they sit down and they yam up all the food and
man,
they
that's
live
all-
large and
That's what
everything.
it's all about.
Everything tastes good then. This
everything
is a
nice.
nice one. He's not
Yeah.
like the rest of them. You
No.
know, he's a good rich person. He's smiling with me and I'm smiling back, so he's my friend. And this is what we end up with. And I'm telling the people of Antigua and Barbuda, what we need is to stop supporting any politician, whether you win your seat or you lose your seat, to go out there and march and picket with them to get access to the beaches. Because the solution is, I would like to hear from Mr. Alec Brown. I'd like to hear from Jamal Pringle and all the other candidates
Mr.
that
Lovell, all
won
of
their
them.
seat or lost their seats in the last election from the UPP. What are they going to do
Why
when
are
they
we
get into
still
office?
in this
Because it is a
predicament?
simple piece of a letter-sized paper, A4 they call them in the United Kingdom. Just say that the public have access to all the beaches in Antigua and Barbuda. Failing to give access to the public,
Comply.
you
You're
have
going to-
$100,000 fine on the first breach of the law and 6 months in prison on the second breach, and every breach thereafter it goes up by an additional 6 months
Additional
in
6.
prison.
That's
That
right.
would end the whole generational issue of access to the
Of
beaches.
course, of
But what
course.
we'd like to let us say we have people coming in and don't know the law. Ignorance is no excuse. But even you have to have some understanding. Let us
Absolute.
just legislate also that every person who purchases lands on a beach from here on out, they have to have a covenant. They sign a covenant
Sign off.
in your obligations
Sign
that
off.
I acknowledge that all beaches and Antigua and Barbuda must have
Should
public
be
access.
accessed.
It must have to be accessed by the public. Have a right to access, and I will acknowledge it, and I will make all attempts to provide a clear, free, safe path to the beach. Let them know what they sign so they can't say, I did not know.
That's right.
You understand? Every lot. That is all. I believe
Yeah,
Antigua.
okay.
That is a legacy position you're taking because none of them want to do it. It's brave people have to move forward here because even after you win it, they still want
Still
to
timid.
bar off that
I
portion of
know.
land and call it their little bit of paradise.
19 goes on.
But we, the people of Antigua, already fought for this bit of
That-
paradise.
that's right.
How can we fight
And won
again?
it.
How can you fight again?
We fought and won.
And that is why
So this
I
is pure
left the
ignorance.
Antigua Labour Party and I will not join the UPP. I will stay with my one-man party because I cannot deal with this sort of nonsense. You know the problems before you got in the UPP. You all used to talk about it and they take away our birth, right, and our land and we can't get no beach access.
That's
And
it.
how do you all
Oh,
come
that's
up with this
it.
whole idea that the most important thing to do for the Antigua and Antigua and Barbuda people is to build a car park. You understand? As I said again, this is not a rescue mission anymore. I remember when I came down home in 2004, the people talk about ready for the rescue. And in 2009, it was the rescue continues or something like that. And even the Labour Party in 2004, and they had something about rescuing something. Everybody always a rescue people, but Antigua people never save. They never save with what they have. And like you have $5 on a biscuit, and they say they're going to save you. And somebody thief the biscuit and the fire out your hand, and they say, well, we don't have no law. Well, Papa said you're supposed to have that $5 and that biscuit, but yeah, we didn't put any legislation in place. And later I'm going up by Millreef to eat and smell up in white people's face.
Let's see what can do for you, though, and me eat. Yeah, look, but it's true. This is what's happening. You know,
it is the sad reality of our times in Antigua and Barbuda. It's the sad reality of our times in Antigua and Barbuda. Very, very sad business, boy. Sad.
Yeah, and again, we're asking the people to be a part of the rectification process. The whole thing needs to be rectified.
It's not a rescue mission anymore. When the first, they call the people in the rescue, they call the paramedics and so on.
Oh, okay,
yeah. They come and they say,
first line.
The Coast Guard, and you have all the rescuers and so on. They come and they say, it's no longer a rescue mission. It's now a recovery mission.
Yes, it is.
Antigua is in the recovery mission stage. And all the body and them dead.
Gone. They're done gone. That's right.
I remember hearing about it in when they had that big earthquake in Turkey about 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And about 50,000 souls lost their lives. They're saying, it's very unlikely that people will survive 3 days in the cold weather and without food and water.
After
they hear another 5 days go by and they find out like a picnic and somebody else alive. We lost our toe, our hand, our foot. We're still alive. I'm hoping that Antigua can pull off some miracle. And when they pull the Antigua and Barbuda out from under the rubble of what they inflicted on themselves in the form of Gaston Brown.
Still some life.
That there's still some hope of life on all of that rubble. But honestly, where I stand right now, it is not a rescue mission for Antigua and Barbuda. Me personally, what I practice is to really pull back and to really assist the people around me. Not only my family, but my friends and people that I go to meet in St. John's Road South. Try to help the people that listen to your message and want it better. I didn't just go down the line of, there are two parties, ALP and UPP, and therefore I must pick one of the two, whether it's doing any damn thing for me or my children. Just go down and vote anyway for them. I could never get out of my bed just to do that.
No way.
It don't make any sense to me.
Not at all.
So I'm saying, the for where I stand is really a recovery mission right now. I will go out and try to assist those who listen to my message, those who voted for me, and even those who didn't vote for me but could understand where I'm coming from for other circumstances they did not vote. But I will help those who I believe are genuine and have a concern at the way this country is going. But I am still fearful. I know the IABLP, I was with them, and they are past any form of redemption. Right? They are a lost cause.
They're gone.
Right? That should be just thrown. What the Mega Man say? Mansour say to be thrown into the dustbin of history. Maybe he was onto something.
Yeah, something he saw somewhere along the line there.
Joel Papa Bird knows the history of the dustbin. He's achieved more than any Mega Man, any Syrian, Lebanese in Antigua and Barbuda.
Politicians in the
when
Caribbean.
they came here, they were selling trinkets. You understand? And it's very offensive.
Pieces of cloth.
But at the end of the day, maybe Mansour was onto something, not about Papa Bird, but the Labour Party
itself
needed to be thrown into the dustbin of history and start all over again. Because the people that fought the fight and won against the colonials can't live comfortable in their country.
Just imagine.
You know?
It's pointless.
Neddy,
senseless.
you go on, man. You say a few words. Tell them as it is, buddy.
Well, look, they behave as if they don't even care. This is my concern there. That week after week we come, we just explain what's going on. You know, and this is simple stuff because you expect that from a child. You explain something from a child to a child, and you know, at some point they understand what you're saying, and you know, move on and do what they're supposed to do. But no, not these people in Antigua. And you know, I can't understand why they're not doing anything to help themselves. We are not here to gain points. We are not here for none of that. We're here for you to do something to help yourself. We should further help the country to be on a better path.
Yeah.
And this is not happening. We come here week after week, and we don't see no changes. You don't even call in to let us know that you're glad to hear us, or you're not too pleased with what
we're saying, you know, like the message.
No, you understand, but at least say something. You're silent, silence is consent, and you're silencing yourself to what they're doing. It means that you're consenting to what they're doing, and it's all right with you. And it's not a good thing, because what's happening is destroying the country piece by piece.
Yeah.
When you see what Antigua is at this point, you know, it's really out of hand. I mentioned this already. You know, when I left school, I went to work for Liat Vere, and Antigua was a gem of a place. It was a place.
We talk about what age was this? What years like?
It was 73.
73.
Yeah, 19.
The halcyon years, man.
Those are the years, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I was 16 years of age, 15, 16 when I left school. I went straight into Liat. And when you see what Antigua was to what Antigua is now, it's a shameful thing there. You know, people used to feel proud coming to Antigua. You know, up there at the airport, you see how people feel kind of way, and you know, but it's not happening this way now. You know, it's always some issue. This is fall apart, that fall apart. Antigua is a fall apart country at this point in time. Everything not working right.
I was speaking to my brother. I think it's my brother this week I was speaking to. Not to change, I'm going to come back to you, but just on that point. And then I was telling my brother, you know the difference between Vere Bird Sr. and Lester Bird? When Papa had his last breath and his heart stopped beating, he left Antigua and Barbuda in a better state
A firm path.
that it was in
That's right.
when he went into office or when he was born.
That's right.
The difference
you can
is
say that again.
between him and Lester Bird is that when Lester Bird died, Antigua was in a worse state than when he came into a political life. When he ran as a candidate in rural. Well, he ran as a candidate first in the 68 or 69 in Barbuda. He lost. And then in 71 he ran. And they lost. And he ran in Barbuda, and Claudel Francis won. But 76 is when he won the first time in rural East. But I will say this, that the difference between Vere Bird Sr. and Lester Bird is that Lester, when he died, left Antigua in a worse state than when he went into public office.
Awful state, yep. Yeah.
This country has fallen apart.
Absolute. No,
and who do you blame? Who you say is the people that did it? 28 years in office. And even if the UPP went in there for 10 years, could they have mucked it up so badly? I don't think so. It was bad. They did a lot of nonsense. But, I mean, Jesus, man, it's your father. He is one of his biggest successes, purchased syndicate lands.
That's right.
Why wasn't that enacted, legislated? He said,
You know,
all your people say, Papa said the land are ours.
Can you
Carry
imagine?
that to the bank. What the bank will give you?
understand?
They can say that's the exit. You don't have nothing. You don't have nothing with that.
It's just silly.
I've heard that since I was a little boy, and I hear that people are being denied access to the beaches. No, I can't even tell you where Laurie's Bay or Laurie's Beach is. So
I have no idea.
It's not a matter that I'm going to go up there because I don't even know where the beach is.
I have no idea.
But if I happen to go up there, I am not moving until I get access. You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm one man at 365 beaches. Some of them didn't even know. Why am I supposed to go? What my name, Jesus? I have to go onto each beach to make sure that the beach is safe. They might let me in because of my name.
That's right.
But what about the common man? They don't think about people like that.
All that.
Our politicians don't do that. They don't think about you. The only purpose that the common man serves in Antigua and Barbuda is every 5 years they will give you rum.
Yeah.
And they give you some food, and they give you a little money. Nothing even lasts you for the week.
No.
lasting
days.
for 2 days, up to
days,
the point
yeah.
in time that you feel good and you get something, so you go and vote for them. And that is all the poor people get in Antigua and Barbuda. Well, I mean, I just say Barbuda wise up. Or they're not wise up, have been wise. Keep far from them people, Barbuda. Love you guys, boy.
Oh, yeah,
Y'all
man.
set
They
the
stand up
example
for
what the
things.
Antiguans need to
Something,
take a page out of that book.
Very much
And just
so.
tell them politicians when they come with this nonsense about beachfront, beachfront, we've been denied access to the beach. Ask them what did they do when they were in office. 28 years of
To
Lester
make
Bird.
sure this don't happen.
And he was the main one forming policies and the strongest deputy prime minister in Antigua and Barbuda. Did all this and
Yeah,
started
yeah.
the say, heritage key and the access to the thing.
Ooh.
Woo, wow, woo, great. You see how heritage key look?
You
Don't
see?
they think
Look-
no
look
hell,
at
boy.
it. Just
I
look at
remember
that.
back in the day when Heritage you used to have the gas station and they had the sweet drink.
Yes, that's right.
Have
Yes,
your cart and
Bryce, just-
Bryce and them.
Oh, yes,
and
say.
they.
Oh, you
Well,
mean.
most rat was wrong, you know.
Yes. yes.
But seriously, don't they
I
not smell
mean,
too nice
just
now?
going Right now.
I'm not. It's not. It hasn't reached back to the state it was back then.
Yeah,
But
but,
Lord,
it's getting there again.
whew,
It's
that is
getting
my
there. It's
assessment
awful. It's
of
awful.
leaders. I'm not gonna. I will judge Baldwin Spencer as
Weak.
he meant well,
Weak.
but he didn't even know what he was going in there to do.
Easy.
They to me were designed and they won the victory against Leicester and get rid of the Labour Party. But they didn't know what the hell they were going in there to do. They just went in there and farm ass, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Gaston Brown,
Fair point.
his administration is one of the most corrupt
Despicable, man.
kleptocracies
Despicable.
in the Caribbean region, if not the
That
world,
is
on
sickening.
a proportion, on a proportionate base, on the size of country and so on.
Well.
It is one of the most corrupt administrations.
When I can openly tell you enrich yourself
Proportionately,
in that position,
yeah.
then you know exactly
You
what
had a
they're
first
after.
time and you made those statements.
Yeah,
You should
yeah, I
never be
understand.
in office again.
That's right. And
You should never be allowed into office. But people are so
God,
dirty and
Yeah,
low
yeah,
and
yeah.
bad-minded and greedy and think that you getting a couple of handouts you're going to do well
that's right.
from that,
Yeah,
or your children.
handouts and
Get a
God,
damn
the
$1,000
days.
for election, and that was the election of 2018. They're giving out $1,000 in St. John's Road South
Yes, ma'am.
because of COVID and the turn in the world economy because of
Mm.
COVID and supply chain breakdown. It was only $300 people were taking.
That's right.
$300.
Any little
So
thing.
they gone down by a third.
Any little thing I eat. Oh, yeah. That's what I tell you, it's sickening. And when these things happen and nothing is being done, it only gets worse. $1,000 gone down to $300. You see what I mean? Say it get worse. And get next time they just disrespect you and say, hold this $100 here and expect you to vote for them. And this is what it is. Because you encourage that over the years. This is a form of encouragement when you see these things happening year in, year out, and then you get the opportunity to make a change and you don't. And then you get an opportunity to be a part of and associate with people who are fighting against, and you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to say. It just makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It makes you
The
wonder.
number is 462-0383. If the public
Of
don't
course.
know, you can always call us and
Call us and be part of
agree
the
or abuse or tell me who was the greatest politician and all that nonsense. Because right now, I'm just seeing failure. I'm just seeing a abysmal failure.
Nothing
Black
short
people
of
just
that.
can't manage their countries
Their
and
own
their
affairs.
administration and look about their black people's
Their
interests.
own affairs.
Neddy,
Yeah.
I would like to say this is our final episode. I'd just like
Yes,
to
it is.
say a shout out and to say hello to my mother, Etlin Annetta Bird, in New York. She's part of the reason why we have this show and has supported me throughout the years, during our True Labor party days and even before
right,
that.
yes,
And
right.
even my mother, I would even say she was one of those that in the Labor Party, she never wanted to any position or work in government. If you work hard, they're going to give you a position. So she had her 5 children and she wanted to raise them to be strong men and women.
That's all.
And that is good enough. Her husband is involved in the politics. She will help out.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of those that assisted with the forming of the Women's Action Group.
Okay.
She's one of those people that was responsible in Rural South for my father having the most returns. Election at two or three occasions, he was the most popular politicians because they really work with the Women's Action Group and the branch where we used to have on Rose Street, where he won by so many votes.
Yeah.
You understand? And my mother, she would vote for the Labour Party, but she was always wary about them. And this is not because Vere, brother, so I'd say, love Gaston, and this is not happened today or yesterday.
No.
This happened before we even left Antigua in 1983. My brother was disgusted with the Antigua Labour Party in the 80 and LU. And she called it like it is. She called a fish, called a spade a spade.
That's right.
That's
what she saw.
And one of the problems I remember my mother was talking about that when they were really pushing hard in rural South and bringing home the victory all the time for the party, one of the problems they always had was that they would go to these conventions and these meetings and annual meetings for the party and the union. And the union, there's always this culvert at the at the top of Road Street in St. John's Road South by the All Saints Road. There's a culvert right there. Right? Just behind ZDK.
Yeah, right back there.
And my mother said we would go to the meeting and we had a problem with the culvert, wasn't fixed and it needed repairs. She went one year. The union and the party promised that they would assist the people in St. John's Road so that they will find the funds to fix the culvert. Nothing happened.
Next time she went back.
She went the second year, the people's flag is deepest red, it's shrouded on all of that nonsense. Right? Yep. And the party, all the comments promised what they're going to do for St. John's Road South. And she sit there and it's bringing out more votes than any other kind. Even Papa Bird wasn't getting them sort of votes like Vere Bird Jr. was getting from Road South. And they're supposed to fix this culvert again because it's just down the road and left-hand side, about 30, 40 feet, there is the Rose Hall where they're bringing home and they're fighting for the Labour Party and the union. Second year, promises made again by the union and the party. Second year again, no funds provided to build the culvert. Third year, my mother didn't go no convention.
She didn't go back. She didn't want to see that. Lie and bad. Isn't it still like that?
I said,
it was ever fixed?
If
it was ever fixed?
What happened to UPP came in there and did something with the sidewalk.
Yes, when they were
going. Kind of did something to it from the natural state that it was for about 40 years. It no longer looks the same. But even if the culvert is working now, the sidewalk can hold in a hole and mash up. So you might get on over the culvert, but you might mash up your car or injure your foot because the sidewalk is no good. And that is the reality we face. But I'd just like to give a shout out again to my mother, Ethelyn Bird, for assisting us to get this podcast off the ground. My brother Kim, the technical guy who assists me to all the technical side of things. I'd like to say thank you to Lionel Nedwell, my co-host, for being by my side through the years where so many others should have been here. So many others of my father's supporters. When he died, he said so many of them was promised him that they would assist, to look out for me politically and to assist me. Who gonna get house? Get land, get picnic, tuition paid, and child maintenance and all that stuff. But they are nowhere to be found. God bless them. We move on. As I say, hey, me not look left and me not look right. We move on. You say a few words, Nelly.
And I thank you.
We have another 5-10 minutes, so we don't have to rush it to end. But we got a little bit. Just say what you got to say.
I thank you too for having me on this program and other programs. Because you remember we are at up the hill there with Variety. You remember Variety?
Oh, yeah, with Carlton, man.
Oh, yes, over the years. So we are not now getting into broadcasting. We've been out there, we are doing what we've been doing. We've been telling the people, and we are asking the people to assist themselves and all that. We've been doing that for years. And to be honest, this is exactly why we are here. We need the people to understand you've been taking advantage of too much. You just see the people being taken advantage time after time again, and it's like it's okay. It doesn't work like that, please, ladies and gentlemen. When you encourage this ignorance, it just gets worse and worse and worse until, you can't even tolerate it anymore. So it's up to you. You need to do something about what's happening to you now and get it all fixed. We need a better tomorrow for Antigua and Barbuda. I'm not seeing it because the interest of the people isn't there. And unless the people shows interest, it's not going to happen. You have to demand. You are the people that they came to 6 months before the election and asked for your assistance and asked for your vote and asked for every damn thing. And now you did that for them. And you're telling me you forgot, you're forgetting your position in this whole going on? No, you're the hiring. You did the hiring. You're the ones that they came to. Isn't it so? So please, ladies and gentlemen, just ease back and think a little and then figure out exactly what you're going to do. If you're going to, when they come to your place, they tell them, look, we didn't even want to see you.
Well,
and
you know,
stuff
then
like
I'll
that.
come to your place now. It's only in St. Mary's North now. St. Mary's
At
South.
this point in
St.
time.
Mary's South for for the
that's
by-election.
That's
Then
right.
Then I'll come
Other
out
than
for
that,
another
you have to wait
potentially
another
5
4
years.
years, 4.5. That's right. So you're going to have to just figure this whole thing out and see what we're going to do. As my co-host told you, when they come and tell you about let's go out there and march, and you look back and see what they could have done for what you're marching against and didn't do, don't even be a part because you look stupid. You understand? They had the opportunity to go in there and do reform all kind of programs, and they never did. They have ALP come back and right in stride, and they gone straight ahead doing nonsense,
Pick
taking
up where they
advantage
left
of
off.
people, right where they left off.
Pick up where they left off, you
So,
know.
ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we are glad to have you here viewing us today, but we're even more happy to have you calling in and giving us your views.
And most importantly, as at this point in time, if you are scared or you don't want to call in, at least just subscribe to our page on
That's
YouTube.
Get it in silence.
So you can
that's
get us
right.
when get it in silence so that
That's right.
your political masters, you know, it's like I live in slavery days where more on for revolt but scared.
Look,
So
you
you
know
go
what
and
happens.
you come. Anyway, just subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow the link, and we are
That's
right
right.
there on YouTube and Facebook and all social media. We're gonna add a couple by the time we come back, a couple more apps, social media apps, to where we'll be brought multi
Broadcasting,
streaming.
that's right.
In addition to that, we're gonna have more. We're gonna have interviews on Zoom and Google Meet
That's
when we
right,
come
and so
back
forth.
in end of August, early
Right,
September. The
right,
whole
right.
idea is who's on the Go Mag podcast, and it's a situation where we didn't want to be talking a dialogue day in, day out for every week. But
That's right.
if people don't want to talk because they're scared, right?
Yep.
We will bring in the guests, even if they're not in Antigua and Barbuda, who will talk about our
That's right.
condition here in Antigua and
That's
Barbuda.
right.
You know, in democracy, there has to be a dialogue. You cannot have democracy where the leaders that you elect know everything, and therefore they just
So
go
they
ahead and
behave.
carte blanche do what they
And
feel like
talk
is
and go
best
so-
for you.
Oh, no,
You
no.
have to have dialogue. We
That's
have to have
right.
consensus.
That's right.
I don't think there's enough dialogue with the people concerning our access to the
Our
beaches,
fears.
because we
That's right.
know that we have access, or we're supposed to have access. But
No,
what
it's-
have the legislators done for us? Whether it is ABLP, ALP, UPP, PLM,
And,
they haven't done diddly
no,
squat, because
no.
what Justin said put on that high water mark and low water mark, carry that to the river in Dominica. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Justin Simon QC. I don't know how you're gonna have tidal waves and you have tropical waves and the water mark is going to change, and then I have to adjust myself from low tide to high tide where I can sit on the sand on the beach. What the hell? And where was Jackie and the doctorate, the PhD? Where was Harold Lover lawyer? Where was Lenworth Johnson? Where was Chakawaka when we talk about low water? And what is the low water mark? Because every time the water come and crash against the sand, it's a different mark all
You
the
better
time.
believe that.
So
It has no mark.
how you don't understand now and some them they too
Look,
highfalutin for me. I think they're too rich for me blood. Too rich for me blood, boss. Antigua Barbuda. Thank you for listening to us for the last 5 months. We started Who's on the Go My podcast on the 11th of February 2023. It's 5 months into it, and we do hope to come back, and it will be even a stronger and more positive message and really informative ideas and solutions to the problems that we are facing here in Antigua and Barbuda. After you already won the struggle and the conquest,
Barbuda
we still
has been
fighting
broken.
again. Black people, you really know how to shoot yourself in the foot. But anyway, on that note, y'all take good care. The track today was by a man named Horace Andy. Don't try to fool me. Oh Lord, where the hell is the track now? The sun, boy, everything fall apart.
well,
Not only, it's not, what are you saying, Eddie? It's not only Antigua and Barbuda. It's everything in Antigua and Barbuda is falling apart. Everything when they come down at the airport, through customs.
That's it.
That's it.
The falling apart begin.
Yeah.
Right there. Yes, my good brother.
Take good care, Antigua and Barbuda. See you in late August, early September.
And we come again.
Never, never